So you thought I wanted the University of Louisville in the Big 12. Ha! There's another team I want more.
Our Locked On Bearcats, your daily podcast on the Cincinnati Bearcats, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you so much for making Locked On Bearcats your first listen every day. It's free and available everywhere you get your podcast and on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the Locked On Bearcats YouTube channel, now up to 347 and counting. So hit that subscribe button, follow us to get an alert every time we drop a new episode. And today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. I would like to thank LinkedIn Jobs for being the official college football recruiting sponsor across the Locked On College Network. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Terms and conditions apply. So Friday, or actually rather Thursday, it was Friday. I did 2 episodes Friday. Friday, I told you how I wanted the University of Louisville in the Big 12. Oh, there's a school I want more to join the Bearcats in the Big 12. Now, there's a lot of hoops that have to be jumped through in order for this to happen, but let's just imagine for a minute. That Gonzaga joins the Big 12. OMG. Are you kidding me if that happens? Can you imagine Gonzaga joining the Big 12? Let's think about this in basketball for a minute. Because Gonzaga arguably has been the most successful program over the last 8 years. 2 Final Fours, 4 Elite Eights, 7 consecutive Sweet 16s. And they've been a number 1 seed in 2017, 19, 21, and 22. That, my friends, is 4 number 1 seeds. Twice, they've been number 1 overall, back-to-back years. We talk about Baylor, and we talk about Kansas. They won the last 2 Big 12 and they've won the last 2 national championships. Now you add the most successful regular season program in college basketball to your conference? Man, just imagine for a minute what that would be like. I'm going to explain more after a word from LinkedIn. You see, as the sun comes out and small businesses are back in business, LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier for you to grow your team. You can find the people you want to interview faster and for free with LinkedIn Jobs. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Then add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring so your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you would like to interview and hire. That's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs number 1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Gonzaga joining the Big 12. Now, the hoops that would have to be jumped through for that to happen. First, can you have a Power 5 basketball school that doesn't have football? There's not one currently. Notre Dame's in the ACC, but they have a darn good football program, as we know. But just think, if you're Cincinnati, you have Gonzaga. As a fan, don't you always want to play the best? Don't you dream about beating the best? Beating the best? Being the best? Wouldn't it be something if Gonzaga joined the conference? Wouldn't it be something if Gonzaga and Kansas come to your arena every single year? I mean, my goodness. Like, there are blue bloods around college basketball. Kansas is going to be in your conference in 2023. And obviously, if you're going to expand to Gonzaga, you're also going to have to expand to other West Coast teams. If Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and Arizona State, plus, maybe Oregon and Washington come. But now you have those teams. Why not add Gonzaga? Why not add a team that is deserving of being in the Power 5 conference? I said for years Gonzaga could go into the Pac-12 and go 17-1. That's how good they are. And that's how bad the Pac-12 was in basketball, that Gonzaga could do that. Gonzaga is a team deserving of being in a Power 5 conference. So, why not, if you're the Big 12, playing offense before the Big 10 comes along and tries to get them? Gonzaga in the Big 10 would be, that's dream team worthy. But get them in your conference, because the Big 10 will claim they're the best basketball conference in the country. They're not. You come to the Big 12. Gonzaga has lost in 2 of their last 3 NCAA tournaments. The team that knocked them out was a Big 12 team. Texas Tech got him in 2019. Baylor beat him for the national title in 2021. Now add Gonzaga to the Big 12. Maybe that's just what they need to get over the hump and win a national championship. I think it is. I think that's exactly what it is. What has Gonzaga not done that does not make them worthy of a Power 5 conference bid? Conference realignment's driven by football. Can we take a second and think about what it'd be like if it was driven through basketball? Because Gonzaga, I think, would have a strong case that they would be the lead dogs, no pun intended. I would put them in a Power 5 conference in the snap of a finger. They recruit All-Americans. They get guys to the NBA. They have a rabid fan base. I know the market they play in isn't big, Spokane, Washington, but still, you have that name attached to your conference. If you can get other West Coast schools into your conference, the Big 12 does not have a conference name that would subject it to a specific geographic area. It is, it can be coast to coast. It already is practically with West Virginia and BYU. Plus, Gonzaga and BYU have played in the same conference in basketball already. Another reason why it makes sense. So I know I was high on Louisville last week, but then when I had Josh Neighbors on Locked On Big 12 last week to make some sense of the conference realignment and where the Bearcats in the Big 12 stand, and we brought up Gonzaga, I said to myself, what if? What if Gonzaga joins the Big 12? Because the Big 10 is going to go after more teams. Now, it's going to do it from a football standpoint. I don't know if Gonzaga has football or not. I do know they have a darn good basketball program. That's really, really good. So, when we think about it that way, when we think about it in that way, what if basketball drove realignment here? What if it didn't matter that Gonzaga didn't have football and you have 19 teams in your conference for basketball? If you have 6, right now you're going to have 14, then it's going to be 12. But who's to say you can't add a 13th team in Gonzaga? I don't know. Make it a baker's dozen. You'll be cooking as the best conference in college basketball if you do that. Like, you want to talk about the quality of talent Gonzaga has produced over the years. The quality of players that they have gotten. Chet Holmgren, Jalen Suggs, Drew Timme, Nigel Williams-Goss, Shemek Karnowski, Kelly Olynyk, Rui Hachimura. Those are big-time players. Zach Collins. Those are big-time players. Kyle Wilcher. And imagine if they join your conference. Just imagine for a minute what that would be like. Because that would be something to see. It really would. If you get other West Coast teams. Because Gonzaga is deserving of being in a Power 5 conference. But the Pac-12 is dissolving. Why would Gonzaga want to go there? If they want to be in a Power 5 conference, and they play Power 5 teams throughout the season and beat them, by the way. There you go. I've been enjoying the Big 12. So, we talk about Gonzaga not being a Power 5 school yet that the Big 12 could poach, go after. There's two other programs that currently are in the American that I want to see join a Power 5 conference. I'll explain who those two are next after a word from betonline.net, your number one source for all of your betting needs and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, which already concluded, and Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And betonline.net remains the best spot for all of your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. I think if there's one group of 5 team that I want to see in the Big 12 with Cincinnati, and I think it's a rivalry enough that it would stay going into the Big 12, and it's been a rivalry going back to technically the 60s, Memphis. What a great addition to the Big 12 that would be. Like, Memphis has a lot of things that I can see why they are worthy of joining the Big 12. Like, why are they not getting any consideration? Because their football program's not notable enough? That the Liberty Bowl is too old or whatever? Memphis has built a really solid basketball program. They have speed, they have defense, they have shooting. They have a good market, Memphis, with, a passionate basketball fan base. The Memphis Grizzlies are also on the rise, if that means anything to anyone. So it's a good basketball city. Their head coach is an icon in the city. Their head coach is a brand name when it comes to the game of basketball. And quite honestly, I think that warrants consideration for them to be in a Power 5 conference. They have had a lot of success and a lot of history. They did so well in Conference USA. They've done okay in the American. But I still think that they have done enough, especially this year. And what they've done in recruiting is really solid. I think it has to be worthy of consideration for them joining a Power 5 conference. It makes sense geographically. A market like Memphis gives it that rivalry with Cincinnati. They have other rivals, they can still have their rivalry with Tennessee. They can form rivalries in the Big 12. You can get, revenge shots every year at Kansas from 2008. You can play other teams in the Big 12 like Texas Tech, which would be a really fun game to see. And you talk about the Big 12 and the coaches in this league. Add Penny Hardaway to it, it would be even better. And it keeps that rivalry with Cincinnati alive. SMU, another program I think that's deserving. Now, Josh Neighbors did say on this show last week that, they already have a team in the Dallas-Fort Worth market in TCU, but I think SMU and TCU could be a great rivalry in college basketball. It's another thing that also makes sense geographically. It adds another team in Dallas, so a major market. Another group of 5 team deserving, I think. SMU's been knocking on the door the previous few years. They haven't really broken through yet in the American. They haven't been to the NCAA tournament since 2017. But, I mean, I'll tell you, football's on the come up. I look at what Sonny Dykes has done with that program. I look at the fact that lost my train of thought there. I just look at the fact that they play in a major market, and they've just been kind of lurking in purgatory and irrelevancy. Here's a team that was in Conference USA, now is in the American, and I think they could just use a platform. Same with Memphis. Now, I don't want the Big 12 to expand just to give teams a platform. I want them to add teams who are deserving, like a Memphis, like a, teams in the Pac-12 who are now all of a sudden almost on life support because the conference is and they are affiliated with it. A team like Gonzaga. There's other teams too. Boise State has been always deserving of being in a Power 5 conference. They just played in the NCAA tournament. Their football program, we know, is really, really good. Arguably the best Group of 5 program over the last 15 years overall. Colorado State potentially joining the Big 12. There are teams in the Mountain West that are deserving of Power 5 bids. Fresno State, maybe. Hawaii. Wyoming. Heck, Nevada. Yeah, I just said that name on a Bearcats podcast. This is if you are not able to poach another team from the Pac-12. You got other Group of 5 options. And I think they're really good. All right, so what's coming up on today's show? More linebackers for the UC football team. We're going to talk about them with John Garcia Jr. on Wednesday. He's fresh off of attending the Elite 11 camp in Los Angeles. We're going to talk Brady Dragish, his thoughts on Deshaun and Ivan Pace, UC's linebackers, any other recruits we need to keep our eyes on. And then starting on Thursday, I'll be on vacation. I've already recorded Thursday of this week's episodes all the way through next Tuesday. It's reliving the 2021 Bearcats season, what I thought before, during, and after each game. That's going to be a fun vacation series while I am at my relative's lake house in St. Joseph, Michigan, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the Locked On Bearcats YouTube channel, up to 347 subscribers and counting. Follow us to get an alert every time we drop a new episode. Follow me on Twitter at Frankie_Natty with 2 N's, NNATI. Follow me on Instagram, AlexFrank9_, or email me at alex3frank@gmail.com. Thanks for making Locked On Bearcats your first listen every day. Now go make your second listen Locked On Big 12. Get more on the Big 12 by making Locked On Big 12 your second listen every day. Host and my friend Josh Neighbors and the local experts of Locked On take you across the Big 12 in 30 minutes. Locked On Big 12, your second listen. That's Locked On Big 12. I'm Alex Frank for the Locked On Bearcats podcast. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.